Frank, with all the different talk about lineups and cohesion and figuring all that out, how much does just Anthony Davis playing at that level paper over some of that and lead the way?
Yeah, well, all that other stuff is just trying to patch it together, while we're getting our stars back healthy and with their legs under them and rhythm and timing up to speed. And you see Anthony just getting a little bit stronger every game, a little bit more in rhythm every game, and just a sensational performance by Anthony tonight.
Frank, I suppose the free throw line is an example of the aggression that he showed, but was there something that you saw from a mindset standpoint with him about the way that he was going to attack this game and Portland as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there was matchups in both games, that were a problem for our opponent, and we wanted to make sure that we exploited that, and we were able to do that. We're doing a better job, getting the ball inside. When they're trying to take him away, and we've had some games where we didn't feed the post very well, or play out of the double teams, and we're getting better each game with that. And AD was finding people, and our guards were getting him the ball in position to score.
And Frank, Dan had just asked AD about LeBron, and he said basically, trust me, he'll be fine, based on what he saw. Is there anything you can share along those lines about kind of confidence of him coming back and getting to where he expects to be?
Yeah, no, I mean, he looks good in his workouts. Obviously there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period with him in terms of getting his rhythm and timing back. Hopefully we have enough time, for that to pick up very quickly. I tend to learn to have confidence in LeBron James in situations like that. And, we've said all along, we're going to battle through this stretch the best we can and try to get as healthy as we can down the stretch, knowing that we can do big things if we get our two horses and really our whole team back, Dennis included.
Hey, Frank, I know you talked a lot about AD's legs being a huge factor in how he's played lately, but is there something that you think maybe the stakes of these games and the standings and trying to still get the 6th seed has brought out this side of him that's a little more competitive?
Yeah, I think that's the silver lining that no one's really talking about right now is, for the last couple of weeks, in the last 2 games, we've been playing really every possession matters type of basketball, which is what the playoffs are like. That's what the playoff intensity is about. And sometimes you have a playoff seeding locked up and you kind of coast into it. You're just not as sharp as you need to be going into the playoffs. But, the urgency that we've been forced to play with, I think has come out in Anthony's performance the last couple of games, and I think it's going to benefit our whole group.
Dan?
Frank, what have you kind of made of Alex's performance these last 2 games and sort of the improvement he's shown as the primary primary playmaker and ball handler?
Alex Caruso has stepped up big time, in these last 2 games. He really has. He's for all the talk about Anthony in the last 2 games, with high scoring totals, Alex has had his 2 highest scoring totals of the season in the last 2 games as well, 18 and 17 points. And, to do it without skipping a beat on the defensive end where he is an elite defender. And I think it's worth mentioning that he has to be considered for all defensive team, with the way he guards, the way he does everything on that side of the ball. So to see him, dominate on the defensive end and, take control of our offense and play on both sides just proves his value to us. And, it was a big reason we won a championship last year, and he's going to be huge for us in the playoffs this year.
Bill?
Frank, how have you seen AD accept the challenge of trying to lead this team without LeBron over this stretch? And was tonight maybe sort of the manifestation of kind of that relatively short-term journey he's been on?
Yeah, I think with Anthony, he really leads with his play. As much as with his voice, and he's rallying guys and, talking things out throughout the game and whatnot. But, he sets a tone for us with his assertiveness. When he comes to play the last 2 games, like he did the last 2 games, looking to dominate, then everybody else gets a little bit more, air in their chest and get more confidence in what we're going to be able to do that night. And it just takes time when you miss as much time as he did for him to be able to, have that sort of that sort of pop to his game. And so I think it's been great with his leadership, of late.
Dave?
Following up on that, is there a trickle-down effect? Obviously, the impact he makes statistically speaks for itself, but do you feel like there is any tension released by, okay, this looks like the guy that helped win his championship? And also, does it affect the LeBron timeline at all, just being like, hey, if AD's playing this way, maybe he can take a couple extra days to get back right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it affects the confidence of the group, but I don't think it affects Bron's timeline. Bron's going to try to get in there as much as he can to get a rhythm without agitating the ankle. I mean, I don't think how Anthony's playing or what our seeding situation looks like is going to change LeBron's timeline.
Jovan?
Frank, we saw the Mark Trez pairing for the first time tonight. Why did you go to those two together for the first time, and what did you think of them together?
Yeah, I mean, it was a -9 overall, but that's just because we gave up 2 threes, during that stretch in the fourth. I think there's some benefits to playing a lineup like that. Obviously, there's some risk as well because both are used to defending the center position. But, we want to get your best players out there. And, it's one of the things we haven't quite looked at yet. And when we're trying to manage, the addition of Andre, with those two guys who are used to playing big minutes as well. So, I did like what it looked like tonight. I think we're getting better, again, playing with 2 bigs, whether it's, Anthony and Drum or Mark and Trez together. Just some of the dynamics that go into that, but I think it was a positive, even though the overall net was a negative. I think it was a positive for the energy of our group.
We've got time for 2 more. Nick Hamilton? Nick, you can go ahead. You're on mute. There you go.
Hey, Frank. What did you think of? Just wanted to get your thoughts on what you thought of Taylor Horton-Tucker in his first game back tonight and how much he really gave you guys as far as that lift.
Yeah, we missed Taylor. When we're shorthanded and especially at the ball handler position, now Alex has got to sort of handle it as by himself, and we have to ask wings to bring it up and bigs to bring it up and whatnot. That challenges your offensive flow big time. And for him to come back after 2 games and just really to kind of stabilize us, and give us somebody that can get us into our sets and but still be that attacker that he is. He made a 3 in the first half. I thought he was great tonight, and he was definitely missed in the last 2 games.
Mark Berman?
Hey, Frank. What does it look like for LeBron versus the Knicks, and what do you make of the matchup? They just won on this floor also, but you'll have AD this time. Yeah,
we don't know about Bron yet. LeBron's day-to-day, so we don't have an answer on that yet. And obviously the Knicks are playing exceptional basketball this year. To come in and beat the Clippers on their home floor is a big-time win. Coach Tibbs has done a phenomenal job on both sides of the ball, with their defense and the way they're playing together offensively and how he's using Julius. I think he's done just an exceptional job with their group. And obviously we're going to have to play our best basketball to beat them. Even with AD playing well, we'll have to be at our best.